They said it wasn't humanly possible. All the power and excitement of Nintendo right in the palm of your hand. Introducing Game Boy. It's portable, it's in stereo, and its games are interchangeable. Game Boy comes complete with batteries and the outrageous new game Tetris. And for head-to-head competition, use Video Link and blow your opponent away. Game Boy, only from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power, portable power.
Brian, people ask, how do you cope with being a disembodied brain? Just floating in a jar with no girls, no music, no car, no parties. It's not so bad, I say. I just play with my Game Boy. Till they all get here. Tetris 2 is giving me a headache. And I don't even have a head. Hey, you want to know what I do when I get bored waiting for my girlfriend to decide what to wear before we go out?
Nah, too frumpy. Too tight. Nah, too revealing.
I just slip into this little gray plastic number. Oh, how sweet. Okay, so it's not a Game Boy, but I guess her heart's in the right place. By the window, second shelf down on the right. Got 40 pounds burning a hole in your pocket? You could either buy a Game Boy like this, or own a pair of pants like this.
Who's got more toys than all the rest? Who's got the newest? Who's got the best? Got video games back to back. Got super low prices and that's a fact. Children's Palace, that's where it's at.
Get it while it's hot and get it while it's here. Game Boy, the power-packed, action-packed video game from Nintendo that you can easily get your hands on right now at Children's Palace.
Children's Palace, that's where it's at.
The adult world is designed to keep us moving. And while this may make us more efficient, it's not exactly a party. Luckily, technology has produced a cure. It's called a Game Boy, the personal game-playing system from Nintendo, with lots of sports, action, and puzzle games to choose from. And it comes with a puzzle game Tetris. It could change your outlook.
I'm sorry, sir. Your flight's been delayed. Cool.
Game Boy by Nintendo. Have you had your fun today?
So let's do it.
Centipede, Defender, and Gallagher. So polish up your old moves. You'll need them to survive the arcade classics. Now available in 2-in-1 game packs for Game Boy and Super Game Boy, baby.
Seven Up would like to give you a gift of holiday cheer. Just clip 4 proofs of purchase from 2-liter bottles of any refreshing 7-Up product. Take them to Toys R Us. And for just $19.99, you get the new Spot Game Pack for Nintendo Game Boy. A $5 savings. Just in time for Christmas. Put 7-Up in your holiday and make the season bright.
Responsible adults aren't supposed to have fun. Wake up. We can do whatever we want. Drive racing cars to work, play golf in our pajamas, tennis on the bus, or baseball in our mother-in-law's living room. All you need is a Game Boy. It's a personal game-playing system with over 200 puzzle, action, and sports games to choose from. Hey, fun is your reward for growing up. Start playing.
You really gotta get one of these.
Game Boy by Nintendo. Have you had your fun today?
そしてミシンも本当。でもなぜゲームボーイがミシンに？このヌエルはミシンにソフトがついていて、ゲームボーイを接続すれば300種類以上の模様縫いや文字を縫うこともできる画期的なミシン。
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm Bud and he's Russell. Okay, kids, this new Game Boy game. Hey, cool box. I mean, he doesn't get it, but here's what you do. I keep thinking, right? Because you gotta box them, and they make this little box, and then you close it in.
Whoa, level 5! Yes!
This doesn't even have any eyes. I know it's weird, but it sees you, right? Just. Then this little Mario guy comes out and starts singing to you.
Weird.
Wow. Kicks for Game Boy. I give it an A. Nintendo.
Game Boy Classics van Nintendo. Donkey Kong Land, Kirby's Dream Land en Zelda Link's Awakening. Trouwens, je kunt ze gewoon in de winkel krijgen. De nieuwe Game Boy Classics. Al voor 59 piek op je Game Boy. Nintendo. Have more.
ゲームボーイポケットは小さい、薄い、軽い。画面もくっきり見やすくなって今までのゲームボーイソフトも遊べる。ポケットサイズのゲームボーイポケット新発売。
You don't have one. It's mine.
New Ice Blue Game Boy Pocket. It's a limited edition, so everybody can't get one.
You better believe you can spend your whole life playing Game Boy. Game Boy! Sucking a walking a back and a muppet Game Boy! Game Boy!
So I says to her, I says, hey, is that Bob?
Wow, he looks great.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, did you cut your hair?
I don't have any hair, Jim. He doesn't have any hair, stupid.
You dork.
You're sure looking thinner there, Bobby, baby. Yeah, I dropped a few sizes.
Your screen looks bigger, too.
Not bigger, just a lot sharper. Sharper.
Take that new casing, Bob. Silver.
So, Bob, do you still play all the games?
All the Game Boy games, babe.
New Game Boy Pocket. Stick in your pocket today.
ゲームボーイという国に6つの金貨というお話がありました。その国の6つの世界には大切な金貨が隠されているのです。勇敢な若者は悪いやつからその国を救うために6つの金貨を集める旅に出るのでした。ゲームボーイソフトマリオランド2、6つの金貨。さて、その悪いやつとは。
俺だよ、マリオだよ。
初めて一緒に街を出た。新開発モノトーン液晶画面、カートリッジ交換でいろんなゲームが楽しめる。そしてステレオ効果サウンド。ハンディゲームマシンゲームボーイ。君とならどこまでも。ゲームボーイ専用ソフトスーパーマリオランド。対戦型ベースボール。ケーブルをつなぐとファミコンでは味わえなかった面白さ。ゲームボーイ専用ソフト。とことん付き合える仲間がいる。
ファミコンウォーズが出るぞ。ファミコンウォーズが出るぞ。こいつはどえらいシミュレーション。こいつはどえらいシミュレーション。のめり込めるのめり込めるのめり込めるのめり込める。母ちゃんたちには内緒だぞ。母ちゃんたちには内緒だぞ。
のめり込むシミュレーションゲームファミコンウォーズ。
ファミコン 坊主が出るぞ。
ファミコンウォーズを知ってるかい？ファミコンウォーズを知ってるかい？今度はゲームボーイウォーズだぞ。今度はゲームボーイウォーズだぞ。かなりすごい、かなりすごい、かなりすごい、かなりすごい。父ちゃん一緒に遊びましょう。ファミコンウォーズがさらにパワーアップして新登場。ゲームボーイウォーズ。ゲームボーイウォーズが出るぞ。
Look what we have for you at Woolworth and Woolworth Express from the exciting world of Nintendo. This Nintendo action set, packed with endless fun for kids, and only $99.99. Plus Game Boy, Nintendo's compact video game system. You can play and carry in your hand, just $89.99. And for a gift idea that's great to give and even better to receive, all Nintendo and Game Boy cartridges are 15% off. Now at Woolworth and Woolworth Express.
あ、ゲームウォッチさん。
おお、近頃売れてるらしいな、ゲームボーイ君。
おかげさまで。
俺のソフトも可愛がってくれよな。
はい。
頼むよ。
4つのゲームが2つのモードで新登場。ゲームボーイポケットで
ゲームボーイギャラリー。
It's coming. New Super Game Boy from Nintendo. Play your Game Boy games on TV. All 350 Game Boy games. It's a whole new way to play.
Game Boy Bros. 君は何色?
We can do whatever we want. Drive racing cars to work, play golf in our pajamas, tennis on the bus, or baseball in our mother-in-law's living room. All you need is a Game Boy. It's a personal game-playing system with over 200 puzzle, action, and sports games to choose from. Hey, fun is your reward for growing up. Start playing. You really gotta get one of these. Game Boy by Nintendo. Have you had your fun today?
You want to play with power? Let the games begin. There's a lot of games here. A lot. I got kicks, man. Kicks is the game. This is the game. Game Boy's gigging. It's Tetris. Batteries and Tetris included. Amazing. Game Boy! Nintendo word.
It's the place, definitely.
You're into Nintendo games.
And who isn't?
Then get into Walmart.
We're talking serious Nintendo game store.
Because the only thing hotter than Nintendo games
is Walmart's price.
The Game Boy system is $89.97 every day, and radar mission for Game Boy is just $19.67.
Incredible!
Total follow the book plan is just $26.38. The only thing hotter than Nintendo games is Walmart's price.
Walmart? My allowance, thank you.
Walmart.
Yes!
Always.
Game Genie, the big, awesome video game enhancer, is now getting smaller. Game Genie works its power on Game Boy. Turn Genie's power off and on as you play. Game Genie for Game Boy with super small code book.
Excellent!
The adult world is designed to keep us moving. And while this may make us more efficient, it's not exactly a party. Luckily, technology has produced a cure. It's called a Game Boy, the personal game-playing system from Nintendo, with lots of sports, action, and puzzle games to choose from. And it comes with a puzzle game Tetris. It could change your outlook.
I'm sorry, sir. Your flight's been delayed.
Cool. Game Boy by Nintendo. Have you had your fun today?
Game Boys moving into the age of color. Super Game Boys.
Super Game Boy.
You can put any Game Boy cartridge in it and then play that Game Boy game in color on the big screen through your Super Nintendo. It's packed with color. Nice rainbow. Super Game Boy. Design your own colors for games like Donkey Kong and Tetris 2 from Nintendo.
Also das ist was ganz Neues. Da kannst du Bilder mitmachen. Du kannst was reinmalen oder reinschreiben. Plötzlich hast du eine riesen Nase. Und Effekte kannst
kannst du damit machen. Da siehst du nachher aus. Du kannst damit jonglieren, coole Musik. Kurze Filme kannst du machen. Bilder tauschen geht auch. Blau, Rot, Grün und alles digital. Und gelb. Nicht nur Fotografie, Fotografie. Mit dem Printer kannst du Sticker drucken.
Fotografie mit der Gameboy-Kamera.
If you've been real good, like you should, wait till the holidays. Smile, you're on Game Boy Camera.
This season, stuff your stockings with photography and Game Boy Camera.
Smile, you're on Game Boy Camera. With a hocus pocus, you're in focus, it's your lucky day. Smile, you're on Game Boy Camera.
Nothing says you care like photography and Game Boy Camera.
Smile, you're on Game Boy Camera. Sense of humor, there's a rumor, laughter's on its way. Smile, you're on Game Boy Camera.
Get the game with family values and photography. Get Game Boy Camera.
Smile, you're on Game Boy Camera.
Sweet, big. Look into my eyes.
It's Game Boy Camera. It fits into any Game Boy. Just pick a friend, pick a nose, pick a friend's nose, eyes, ears, whatever. You can animate it, then with a printer you can print it out and stick it wherever you want. We call it photography. Game Boy Camera. Make fun of everyone.
Hey! Game Boy Pocket Camera! 何？ポケットカメラ？見て、落書き。何これ？あ、ゲームにもなるんだ。買っちゃうよ。ペタ。
すぐ撮ってすぐ遊ぼう。ゲームボーイポケットカメラ。
All right, son, point out the animal that did this to you.
The beast is back, now with 100 levels of pain. Donkey Kong, new for Game Boy.
And Nintendo has already created the first game to maximize this magic. It's none other than the master of the jungle himself, Donkey Kong for Game Boy. The beast is back! Play him on your Game Boy while you're cruising the streets, and then play him bigger and in color when you get home using Super Game Boy. It's got custom borders that automatically switch to match game scenes, and specially composed music and sound effects that make use of the Super NES sound processor. Plus 100 levels of screaming jungle action and untamed puzzle challenges. This game is hot! And Nintendo is raising the temperature with an additional $2 million in Donkey Kong advertising, beginning with this TV ad that's sure to rattle some cages.
Brace yourself. It's Super Game Boy from Nintendo. Play your Game Boy games on the Super NES in living color. Even choose your own color combinations. Play all 350 Game Boy games. How does that strike you? Super Game Boy for the Super NES. Game Boy games in color, intense.
Attention, good people of the earth, I have a very important announcement to make. Some really huge games are now cheaper. They're million sellers and they're called Player's Choice. Like if you have an SNES system at $35, you can get these games. Or if you have a Game Boy at $20, you can get these games. Please remain calm. And remember, you'll find these awesome games wherever you see this Player's Choice logo. And now some dancing.
Arcade classic and made video game history is now on your Game Boy. Typical classic love story, short Italian plumber meets girl, large primate steals girl, plumber chases primate through 10 worlds with cool music. Great game.
できた！テレビでゲームボーイソフトが遊べるスーパーゲームボーイの発明じゃ。スーパーゲームボーイにゲームボーイソフトをセットしてスーパーファミコンに差し込むと、さらにいろいろ好きな色も自由につけられるのじゃ。
博士、これまでのゲームボーイソフトは
もちろん全部色付きで遊べるのじゃ。
ゲームボーイソフトとスーパーファミコンの夢の架け橋、スーパーゲームボーイ。新しいドンキーコングとテトリスプラッシュも同時発売。
Voici le Super Game Boy pour votre Super Nintendo. Pour jouer
à mon jeu à la télé,
à tous les jeux Game Boy sur votre télé, dans les couleurs de votre choix, comme Donkey Kong,
comme Wario Land,
comme Kirby, Zelda et les 250 jeux Game Boy.
Tais-toi, montre mon jeu en couleur.
Avec Super Game Boy, jouez à tous les jeux Game Boy sur votre télé couleur.
Mais surtout au mien, imbécile.
Trop tard.
ゲームボーイの世界とスーパーファミコンの世界が今結ばれるスーパーゲームボーイ。全てのゲームボーイソフトがスーパーファミコンでプレイできる。テレビの大画面で好きな色がいろいろつけられる。ゲームボーイソフトとスーパーファミコンの夢の架け橋、スーパーゲームボーイ。
新しいドンキーコングとテトリスフラッシュも同時に新発売。
Donkey Kong. Das ist doppelter Spielspaß. Das erste Gameboy-Spiel einer neuen Generation. Speziell für den Super Gameboy entwickelt, aber auch normal auf dem Gameboy zu spielen. Mit 96 neuen Levels und Superfarben auf dem großen TV-Bildschirm. Ein irrer Gorilla-Spaß. Videogames 994 vergab 90 Spielspaßpunkte.
Also, jetzt zeig mir die Bestie, die dich so zugerichtet hat.
Der neue Donkey Kong ist da. Super Action auf fast 100 brandneuen Leveln für den Game Boy. Und in super Farben mit dem Super Game Boy. Neu, nur von Nintendo. Donkey Kong für Game Boy und Super Game Boy.
Introducing the Game Boy Pocket, a new, more compact, 30% smaller version of the wildly successful Game Boy. No, we haven't changed its incredibly popular feature set or the familiar operational controls, but the new Game Boy Pocket does feature an even crisper-looking screen, and of course, it's compatible with every Game Boy game cartridge. That's hundreds of awesome games. Game Boy Pocket, the ultimate in portability. It's in your pocket.
Nintendo's Game Boy Pocket is the new, slim, trim, and more advanced version of the popular Game Boy. It's 30% smaller and half the weight of the original Game Boy. Sure, it fits in the palm of your hand, but the pint-sized Game Boy Pocket is fully loaded to overflow with cool features like thumping stereo sound and an improved black and white LCD screen. This mighty little powerhouse supplies up to 10 hours of fun running off only 2 alkaline batteries, or play even longer using the Game Boy Pocket AC adapter. So with its high-tech innovations and 6 flashy colors, the Game Boy Pocket is the ultimate in gaming portability.
たまごっちがゲームボーイになったっち。今度は3匹育てられるっち。好きな名前もつけられるっち。ぺちゃ。たまごっちがゲームボーイでパワーアップ。ゲームで発見たまごっち。ゲームボーイでたまごっち2。森から探す海からダブダブ。たまごっちに発見探して見つけて育てるぞ。ゲームで発見たまごっち
2。Konami's Castlevania The Adventure for Nintendo's Game Boy. In a maze of vampire crypts and unearthly evils, it is about to sink its fangs into you.
さては囲んでくい。四角四面の世の中で私はお邪魔なくい。逃げてかわして包囲して、あとはやってのお楽しみ。ゲームボーイでクイック。
史上最強の悪へ挑戦。スパルタン X が帰ってきた。超過激アクションスパルタン X ゲームボーイで登場。
私は通訳のバイリンガエル。カエルの本音を聞いてあげる。わからない。
王子がカエルに、カエルがヘビに。変身ギャグベンチャーゲームボーイソフト。カエルのために金はなる。ゲロゲロ。
スト2改造計画。
波動拳。
いつでもどこでも対戦。ゲームボーイについに登場、ストリートファイター2。
待ってたよ。
カプコン。
一人でやるより二人もいいけど、三人四人で F1 レース。アクセル全開追いつけ追い越せ、ほんでもってみんなで楽しいの。
4人で遊べば興奮4倍。初めてのマルチ対戦型ゲーム、ゲームボーイソフト F1 レース。
ゲームボーイファンの諸君、元気かな。今日はゲームボーイポリゴン X という少々厄介なソフトを紹介しよう。君は 3D 空間シミュレーションという言葉をご存知かな。この高度なテクニックによってリアルな3次元感覚を初めて実現したアクションゲーム、それが X だ。マニアの方だけにおすすめする。
バイハナさん、スーパー桃太郎電鉄2、ゲームボーイに超異色、波乱万丈超過激役職変更システムの採用だ。72枚のカード操りボロ儲け、超便利な裏技コマンドと迫力。今回も超ムカつくキングボンビでエキサイト。2月18日、桃太郎と旅に出よう。スーパー桃太郎電鉄2。買わなきゃハドさん。
今度の熱血主人公は君だ。
俺か？
熱血格闘伝説コンバットライブス同時発売。
テクノス。
極悪な敵にライバル2人が手を組んだ。熱血硬派国尾君番外乱闘編ゲームボーイで登場。
テクノス。
東京へ行っちゃうんだろう。ナムコのファミスタ持っていけよ。まねよ。
ゲームボーイ版ファミスタ登場。
兄ちゃん、ファミスタ通過してくれよ。俺が一回やってからな。いつもそれだもんな。
ゲームボーイ版ファミスタ2登場。
ゲームボーイソフト第2弾ドラキュラ伝説、鮮明グラフィックであの名作を再現。好評発売中。コナミゲームボーイソフト K ボーイズ。
ねえねえお姉ちゃん、牛が子供を産んだよ。かわいい。
手の中にそっとほのぼの生活、それは幸せな牧場を作る牧場物語 GB。
オリジナルウォッチ当たるよ。バックインソフト。しーちゃんのゲームボーイよ。それであんたが出てんのよ。なんで？だからゲームボーイクレヨンしーちゃん新発売なの。じゃあまだまだあるのよ。見て、しーちゃんのゲームボーイソフトがまたまた出たわよ。ミニゲームもエキサイティング。アクション仮面にも変身だ。父ちゃんもアクション仮面だ。クレヨンしんちゃん2新発売。
What it is Space Invaders for Game Boy and Super Game Boy. What it does is unleash a steady stream of alien forces who keep coming and coming, just like in the arcade, till it feels like a bite in your central nervous system while they poke down the two-legged elbow. Oh, that hurt. Yeah.
I called the witch doctor, he told me what to do. He said, ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, tang, tang, walla bing bang.
That means play Dr. Mario on Game Boy or NES.
Tang, tang, walla bing bang. I beat the witch doctor and this is what he said. He said, ooh, ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, tang, tang, walla bing bang, ooh-ee, ah-ah. And then he struck my head.
Your sister gave you the mumps. Your brother gave you the flu. Your best friend gave you chicken pox. It's payback time with help from Dr. Mario. Go head-to-head on NES or link up on Game Boy. Then contaminate, exterminate, and spread the viruses. When you score, you infect your opponent. Make them sweat, run a fever, get the chills. Dr. Mario. With 2 players, it's germ warfare.
Can I play?
Sure.
Hey, I'm Russell and I got Wayne here.
What's up?
And this new F1 race for Game Boy. Up to 4 guys can play each other at the same time.
Whoa, major crash!
Use the turbo, man.
Number 3's dusted him.
Each guy's got his own race.
Whoa, right!
In his own screen and his very own view of the race.
No, he's got what's quick.
I don't know what Wayne said was. I don't know what he said. Anyway, F1 race for Game Boy from Nintendo. 4-player adapter, things included. Game Boy sold separately.
Round up your posse and check it out.
Hide your cookies! Hide all your cookies! It's happening everywhere! Confections laziness! Baked goods fattiness! Cookie cookiness! New Yoshi's cookie! Yoshi and Mario have a cookie factory gone mad! Only you can help sort them, stack them, and make them disappear! 1 player, 2 players, or 4! Yoshi's cookie on NES and Game Boy!
ゲームボーイで大ヒットの R タイプがバージョンアップ R タイプ2となって登場。アーケード版をほぼ忠実に再現した強烈なインパクトが君を直撃する。ゲームボーイソフト R タイプ2。
熱血高校サッカー部ワールドカップ編 Kick off on Game Boy! テクノ
Ultra's improved your favorite arcade game. First, we added 2 new levels, then packed it with bigger, stronger enemies, and a ton of extra foot soldiers. Next, we punched up the action with knockout new attack moves and crime-fighting scenes like the Ninja Castle. If that doesn't swell your shell, we made one more small adjustment. Introducing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game for your NES.
And check out our totally new Game Boy game, Turtles 2, Back in the Sewers. Whoa! It's coming soon!
You can't catch all 150 Pokemon by yourself.
So close.
You need a friend to train with. So you can grab a link cable and a friend with a Game Boy, and with both game packs, you can catch them all. Gotcha.
Hey, little buddy, want to ride? Pikachu! Whatever. Here we go. Yeah, oh yeah.
I'll be right back.
Reckon you catch all 150 Pokemon? On your Game Boy, that's where. Pokemon for Game Boy is here. With both packs, you can catch them all.
Look who's back. And this time, the 2 of you are partners in the latest installment of the Pokemon saga. It's Pokemon Yellow, the special Pikachu edition for Game Boy Color, where it's you and Pikachu catching as many as you can together. Pokemon Yellow, gotta catch 'em all.
ねえねえ、私のポケットモンスターと勝負しない？
あんただーれ？
モンスター全部で150種類。通信ケーブルでモンスター取り替えっこ。スーパーゲームボーイならカラーで綺麗。仲間が増えるロールプレイング。ポケットモンスター。赤を買うか緑を買うかちょっと違うよ。
今度映画公開記念で出るポケモンってピカチュウが初めから出てるピカチュウバージョンなんだよにゃ。ずるいよにゃあいつばっか。
ピカチュウさん人気ありますから。
当然ポケモンスタジアム対応だしにゃ。ほら
んも好きでしたよね。
ゲームボーイポケットモンスター新発売。
応援してますよ。
Attention, libérez la zone.
Colis suspect en vue. Identification. Encore les Pokémon. Ils sont partout.
Dans Pokémon Yellow édition spéciale Pikachu pour Game Boy Couleur, Pikachu vous aide à attraper le plus de Pokémon possible. Quelle aventure! Pokémon Yellow, attrapez-les tous!
Nå de her igjen, dere. Denne gangen skal du og Pikachu spille på samme lag i det nye Pokémon-spillet. Pokémon Gul, den spesielle Pikachu-utgaven til Game Boy. Du og Pikachu skal sammen samle så mange Pokémon som mulig. Pokémon Gul, du må få tak i dem.
What's the reaction to new Donkey Kong Land? With 4 wild new worlds, 30 savage new levels, cool computer-modeled graphics, and more head-banging bad guys. It's all the excitement of Donkey Kong Country, now on Game Boy. This game is so hairy, you're gonna need shots.
He's the beast you loved on Super NES. And now we've captured him on Game Boy in an all-new game with all new enemies and worlds. Donkey Kong Land. New for Game Boy and Super Game Boy.
Whoa, new Game Boy.
Yep, limited edition Game Boy Pocket Gold.
Can I have a go?
Yeah, later.
Hey, aren't you in the 100-meter butterfly?
Yeah.
Your race is on.
What? Nice try, kid.
Limited edition Game Boy Pocket Gold with Donkey Kong Land. $99.95, but only while stocks last.
国内販売総数300万本を突破したあのスーパードンキーコングが新しいストーリーで今ゲームボーイソフトになった。スーパードンキーコング GB。 ワクワクドキドキする初めての冒険。スーパーゲームボーイならカラーで楽しめる。ゲームボーイブロスでもスーパードンキーコング GB。
He's the beast you loved on Super NES. And now we've captured him on Game Boy in an all-new game with all new enemies and worlds. Donkey Kong Land. New for Game Boy and Super Game Boy.
Hey, Donkey, tu veux des bananes? Nintendo va le faire rentrer dans un Game Boy. On a une grosse surprise pour toi. Et voilà, on a piégé Donkey. Donkey Kong Land, la plus grande aventure Nintendo enfin sur Game Boy et Super Game Boy.
Dans les classiques, vous connaissiez Super Mario Land 1, Super Mario Land 2 et surtout Wario Land. Mais maintenant, il y a Donkey Kong Land sur Game Boy à un prix imbattable. Ne manquez pas les classiques avec Donkey Kong Land sur Game Boy.
Some of the hottest news in the jungle this year is the return of everybody's favorite little monkey, Diddy, in the new Donkey Kong Land 2, Diddy's Conquest for Game Boy and Super Game Boy. Diddy's on the move, and he's got a lot of new ground to cover. In fact, this is one of the biggest Game Boy games ever. Donkey's in big trouble, and it's up to Diddy and Dixie to rescue him. This incredible new game features Rare's amazing ACM graphics, specially optimized for Game Boy. With tons of exciting new levels and incredible graphics, Donkey Kong Land 2, Diddy's Conquest, is bound to be one of the top bananas for Game Boy and Super Game Boy this year.
Plumbers, rabbits, mazes, monkeys, demons, dragons, evil, jungles, puzzles, barrels, bombs.
Stick it. Stick it in your pocket. Stick it.
Sweat, swim, run, panic, kick, scream, live. Game Boy Pocket. Stick it.
Stick it in your pocket. Stick it. la caméra.
Au revoir la caméra.
Donkey Kong Land 2 sur Game Boy et Game Boy Pocket. Maintenant, le héros...
C'est Diddy Kong.
ゲームボーイ版ドンキーコングランドも同時発売。
Nintendo introduces the biggest Donkey Kong adventure ever for Game Boy! Donkey Kong Land 2! Plays on Game Boy and new Game Boy Pocket!
Game Boy Color.
よし。
あ、
それ。
ドンキーがゲームボーイやってる。
あのドンキーコングがゲームボーイカラーで新登場。
ありがとうございました。お客様。あ、なんか喜んでる。
なんとディンキーのスペシャルカード付きゲームボーイカラー専用ソフトドンキーコング GB。
よかったね
ドンキーコングカードゲームも好評発売中。
Game Boy Color.
あ、ドンキーがゲームボーイやってる。
あのドンキーコングがゲームボーイカラーで新登場。
なんか喜んでる。
なんとディンキーのスペシャルカード付きゲームボーイカラー専用ソフトドンキーコング GB。
Old people! Slackers!
Get a clue.
Get a job! Get a haircut!
Get some hair.
Some respect! Have some prunes! Why, I ought to take this and just get one pocket!
With new games like Ken Griffey Jr.'s Major League Baseball, Tetris Plus, and Donkey Kong Land 3, the world is a better place.
Nice earrings. Nice hearing aid. What?
Your old pals Dixie and Diddy Kong have a new home on Game Boy and Super Game Boy, Donkey Kong Land 3. You'll be glad to see some old friends as you battle nasty new villains in a world of dazzling graphics, power-ups, and secret surprises. So grab your bananas and swing into Donkey Kong Land 3 for Game Boy and Super Game Boy.
Het oerwoud staat op zijn kop.
Ja! En wij doen lekker mee!
Klaar voor de derde ronde?
Ja! Ik doe mee! Ik doe mee!
Donkey Kong Land 3 met Dixie Kong en Kiddy Kong. Het geniale vervolg op de leukste platformgame ooit. Donkey Kong Land 3, nu voor je Game Boy en Game Boy Pocket.
At the Kirby's Block Ball Testing Center, we bounced off every wall and busted every block until the game was ready for Kirby himself.
It's ready!
Kirby's Block Ball on Game Boy and Super Game Boy. At the Kirby's Block Ball Testing Center, we bounced off every wall. Sat on every spike. And busted every block.
Good.
Until the game was ready for Kirby himself.
It's ready!
Kirby's Block Ball, now on Game Boy and Super Game Boy.
Kabi カービィはブロック崩しで大活躍。アイテムや敵キャラ盛りだくさん。スーパーゲームボーイならカラーで楽しめる。ゲームボーイソフトカービィのブロックボール。
カービィがアクションパズルゲームに初登場。どんどん星を集めよう。カービィのキラキラキッズゲームボーイポケットでね。
Some play games that go, and some play games that go. Well, now there's Nintendo's new pinball video game called Kirby's Pinball Land, and Kirby's all over the place. All you do is keep Kirby bing, bing, but as long as you can. Get Nintendo's new Kirby's Pinball Land for Game Boy, and we'll bet you won't go.
カービィのピンボール舞台はゲームボーイ敵やアイテム連れてブランドでピンボールゲームボーイで大暴れカービィのピンボール
今度のカービィはピンボールランドで大暴れ
本物顔負けのプレイが楽しめるゲームボーイソフトカービィのピンボール。
転がり出したら止まらない。
Recently, we compared two superheroes, Dashing Super Guy and Kirby from Nintendo. In some ways, Kirby lost big. No big hair, no big muscles, no weapons, nothing. All Kirby's got is appetite. Kirby's Dream Land, the thrilling adventure game on Game Boy. Kirby munches, spits back, and floats, saving glorious Dreamland. He's Kirby, and he packs a mean bite. Kirby's Dream Land, only on Game Boy.
丸書いて、お豆が2つ、おむすび1つ、あっという間に星のカービィ、なんでも吸い込む。星のカービィ、カービィ。吸い込みぶっつけ攻撃、ぷかぷか空飛びの術、かわいいやんちゃポーズ、星のカービィ、ゲームボーイで新発売。
What are friends? Friends are there to pick you up when you're feeling a little down. Friends are there to rearrange someone's face when they're acting like a clown. Friends are a hamster, a fish, and an owl in Kirby's Dream Land 2. If you ain't fighting on their side, well, man, I'd pity you.
Kirby's back, and the flappy one brought 3 rowdy friends. It's a punked-up, powered-up Kirby in Kirby's Dream Land 2. New for Game Boy and Super Game Boy.
Will you be my friend?
カービィはただのやんちゃ坊主じゃないよ。3匹の強い仲間がついているのさ。スーパーゲームボーイならカラーでやんちゃ放題大暴れ。ゲームボーイソフト星のカービィ2新発売。
Now everyone's getting in on the action of Game Boy. You get portable excitement, stereo action, play dozens of games like the mind-boggling Tetris, tennis, and golf. And Video Link lets you challenge a friend. It's like child's play for grown-ups. Game Boy from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power. Portable power.
Tetris 2! Tetris 2. Tetris 2! Tetris 2!
Tetris 2. It's not just Tetris. Now challenge the system or go head-to-head. Different shapes, different shades, and this time, there's bombs in it. It's Tetris 2 on Game Boy or NES.
Game Boy で対戦型テトリス。ケーブルをつなぐと新しいテトリスに出会える。ファミコンでは味わえなかった面白さ。この興奮はやった2人にしかわからない。ゲームボーイソフト対戦型テトリス新登場。
夏だ！ぷよぷよで勝負だ！お外で元気にゲームボーイ版ぷよぷよスーパーゲームボーイ仕様だよ。はれーの日はぷよぷよですぜ。お外で元気に勝負したくなれ。ゲームボーイ版ぷよぷよよろしゅう。スーパーゲームボーイ仕様だよ。
Oh, the damage we can do, wreaking havoc and destruction. Bomberman will never know what hit him. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Wario takes on Bomberman in the explosive new adventure, Wario Blast, on Game Boy and Super Game Boy.
I love it.
The Martians are coming! Yes, and Mario is your only hope. Team up with him in Super Mario Land. Guide him on the Nintendo Game Boy. Challenge the mysteries and terrors of ancient Egypt. Battle all the horrors of the deep. Master lots of weird worlds to give Mario a happy ending and make your world a better place. Super Mario Land and other exciting games for Game Boy. Nintendo, now you're playing with power, portable power.
Obey me, Wario. I am your master. Mario is your enemy.
The wicked imposter Wario has cast an evil spell over Mario Land.
Don't let Mario get the 6 golden coins. Don't let Mario reach the palace.
This is the biggest, most dangerous, most challenging Game Boy adventure yet.
Obey Wario. Destroy Mario.
Don't fall under Wario's evil spell in Super Mario Land 2, only on Game Boy.
俺だよ、ワリオだよ、エルンだよ。その名はワリオランド。ゲームボーイで海賊相手に大暴れ。金貨いっぱいウハウハだよ。空飛び火を吐く。敵か味方かワリオ様の出番だよ。
ゲームボーイソフトスーパーマリオランド3ワリオランド。ワリオもよろしくね。
Pendant des années, vous avez été trompé par Mario. Mais vous avez maintenant un nouveau maître. Wario. Seul Wario peut vous aider à détruire Mario. Faites ce que Wario vous ordonne. Empêchez Mario d'obtenir les 6 pièces d'or et de se rendre au château. Avec 6 mondes et 21 étapes, Super Mario Land 2 est une aventure excitante pour toute la famille. Détruisez Mario. Vive Wario! Super Mario Land 2, exclusif au Game Boy de Nintendo. La puissance est entre vos mains.
Ja, ik ben de meester. Er ligt een vloek over Mario Land. Zonder de 6 munten bereikt hij nooit het kasteel. Het grootste, gevaarlijkste, meest uitdagende avontuur op de Game Boy. Vernietig Mario. Super Mario Land 2. Nu ben je Nintendo dealer. Nintendo, now you're playing with power. Portable power.
Hi, Game Boy. アメリカで人気抜群のアクションソフトメトロイド2を紹介しよう。あのメトロイドがぐーんとパワーアップしてアイテム充実、敵キャラだって最高にエキサイティング。ゲームボーイソフトメトロイド2。
メトロイドおもろいど。
Be afraid. Be very afraid. One life-sucking Metroid survived the first Metroid adventure, and it's multiplying rapidly. You must help Samus save the universe again in Metroid 2. So we're giving you more power and mightier weapons to search a bigger world where hundreds of strange enemy life forms lurk. Destroy or be destroyed.
Metroid 2, The Return of Samus, only on Game Boy.
The future is in your hands.
スーパーピクロス、スーパーピクロス、数字をヒントに絵を出す。ほい！スーパーピクロス、スーパーピクロス、なかなか手強い300問。
新しい問題が300問。スーパーファミコンで登場。意地悪ワリオの超難問も加わったピクチャークロスワード。マリオのスーパーピクロス。出るんだ！ほい！
ピクロスピクロスマリオのピクロスピクロスピクロス頭がピクロスピクロス。
数字をヒントに隠された絵を解き明かすピクチャークロスワード。それがピクロス。あのテトリスを超える面白さ。ゲームボーイソフトマリオのピクロス。スーパーゲームボーイならカラーでピクロス。
また出たゼルダの伝説。ゲームボーイでやっぱり出た。この度リンクがついたのはどこかの海の変な島。こいつは夢か幻か島から全然出られない。
どうしよう。
ゲームボーイでどこでもゼルダ。ゼルダの伝説夢を見る島。出た
Hi, Rick Mail here. I don't know if you're like me, immensely rich, talented, handsome. Isn't it a bore? Well, I found the answer. Zelda Link's Awakening from Nintendo. You play a medieval elf named Link.
You travel through many worlds, meeting endless characters on your eternal adventures.
So hey, next time you're Rick Mail, why not try Zelda Link's Awakening? I think you'll like it. Ciao.
Zelda, involving an inexhaustible Nintendo.
Un nouveau jeu Zelda vient d'arriver, mais seulement pour Game Boy. Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening. Ça fait des semaines que je joue sans arrêt. Combien de fois j'ai frôlé la mort? J'ai vu des monstres qui lancent des épées, des trous sans fond, des sorciers dans des châteaux ensorcelés. Attention, une chauve-souris! Je sais pas si je vais m'en sortir vivant, mais en tout cas, c'est dur pour les pouces.
Seulement pour Game Boy, Link's Awakening de Nintendo.
Le jeu, c'est série.
Cheese. どうしたの？あ、ゼルダ。
キリン見やすい面白いゲームボーイからゼルダの伝説夢を見る島見たら絶対欲しくなる
Down with Zelda from the very start. I got the heart, it's Mars to play the part. Down with Zelda. Creeping through with an overhead view, cause a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. So I stay on track, collect the facts, never cut the slack, and I always watch my back for Jack. Down with Zelda, yeah. Don't understand, I'm the man with the plan, cause the power's in my head and the power's in my hand. Down with Zelda.